Welcome to another episode of Delusional Knicks Fan Network, where we bring you that Knicks content that you need. All right. First off, I wanna apologize. I want to apologize because that last game that we had me in my emotions, had me in my feelings. Not gonna lie, had me in my feelings, particularly because we couldn't get it going in that last game. Back to back losses. I felt it. I felt it. I was truly in my emotions. I didn't know how to respond, how to act. It took me like 2 days to put out a video with these losses because we just look horrible. I mean, from top to bottom, we look horrible. Horrible coaching, horrible play calling. Through and through, it just felt bad. Just felt bad. But then we saw what we saw in game one, right? We saw the energy, we saw the effort, we seen the defense. Carl Anthony Towns getting involved. We saw it all in this game, and we executed well. The fourth quarter, coach did some things which ultimately got us going. Didn't play crazy lineups. Definitely didn't play crazy lineups. But this win kind of brought that energy back. This win brought that love back because I'm gonna be honest with you, I was devastated with those two back to back during this week. Devastated. Like I didn't want to chat with nobody. And today's my birthday. To be honest with you, today's the B day. So I'm happy we got the W. But leading up to it, those two losses had me like I don't want to be involved with nobody or anything. But we're here. We are here. Knicks played great. Let's definitely let's dig into this game. More specifically, the coaching. Let's start with the coaching. Obviously, with the last game, Mikel pretty much putting up a donut in that last game. People thought, will he sit Mikel this game? Will Deuce start? It's not the case. He kept the lineup the same, kept that starting five the same. But he did tweak certain times. So usually, Cat will go to the bench early. We'll bring in Mitch, do that. No, Cat kind of stayed in the game a little bit longer. He didn't go to the bench as early in the first half. And it was neck to neck pretty much in that first quarter. Definitely neck to neck. But you saw the energy there. You saw certain play cuts where, they had Cat at the top of the paint. They facilitate that rock from an OG cut off of a Brunson pick. And we were eating off of that play. We were constantly eating off that play. Atlanta couldn't stop it. Now, they probably going to make adjustments in the next game, but at this moment, they could not stop that play. And OG was dominant. Was definitely dominant. But let's jump over to the stats. All right, stats is where it's at. OG for me, MVP of the series. Leave it up to OG. We gotta feed him, and we don't really run plays for OG. We don't run sets for OGs. A lot of the times we'll run that similar play where he cut to the basket, or it's another 45 cut off of a screen from Mitch. But that's usually it. So it's a lot of his play calling. But OG comes through time after time. 3 for 6 from 3-pointer. 9 from 16 from the field. So OG clearly over 50 across the board. 50% field goal, 50% 3-pointer. That 50% from the free throw line, we don't really care. But also getting his hands dirty. Grabbing 10 rebounds. 2 offensive, 8 defensive. A steal, block, and an assist with a plus 19 of OG. And we saw in game 3, OG was the reason why we got back. Look at that post up. OG was putting in work today. OG definitely was putting in work. Totally. Then Josh Hart, our Swiss Army knife, was kind of all over the place. 4 for 10 from the field, 40%. 1 for 5 from three. Now, Josh goes and shoot over 40% all year from the 3-point line. Time he comes into the playoffs, and it's a little shaky. It's a little shaky, Josh. But we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. 4 for 10 from the field. Certain transition buckets from Josh. We love it when Josh is in transition. All right, when he grabbed that rebound and push it. All right, I don't care too much of where Josh is kind of running the plays and he's the primary ball handler sometimes. He's turnover prone for the most part with Josh, but he still was a +10. But Josh could be a turnover prone individual. And it seems like sometimes he's hesitant to be aggressive. Nah, Josh, you get that rock and there's only two people there, either attack or dish it to that 3-pointer. Right? You 2 sets. What you gonna do? You're gonna attack and dish it. Attack or dish. Pretty much. So let's keep it like that. All right, you attack or dish. But non-boards, crucial. 2 steals. The steals from Josh, can't lie. Josh was ripping it today on the defensive end. I think he had want to say in the first half, stripping, being aggressive. That's what we need, especially on Neil Alexander-Walker and CJ. Crucial plays. Crucial defensive plays on that aspect. It was totally. Mikal. Now, Mikal only played 19 minutes. This is the funny part about that aspect. He started out the game aggressive. I want to say all Mikal buckets was probably in that first half. 3 for 4. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. 2 rebounds. 1 assist. I mean, in plus minus, he was a 0, so I guess as effective. But he goes 3 for 4. Would I want more production from Mikal? This is what we get from Mikal. That's what Mikal brings to the game. Now, his shot is not falling, it's not dropping. Is that because he played all 82 games and he want to be the Iron Man? I have no clue. All right. Then you move over to Captain Brunson. Cap played 33 minutes, 7 for 18, 38%. It's not efficient. But I think for this series, Brunson do not have to play hero ball. I truly believe in this series, Brunson do not have to play hero ball. He don't. And we saw the evidence today. You saw with in the fourth quarter or even the second half, a lot of the offense ran through Cat. And Cat was on point. Cat was on point. But Jalen Brunson, 7 for 18, 38%. We stated that. 3 for 7 for 3-pointers. So we'll take that 42%. Right? 2 for 2 from the field. But only 3 assists for Brunson. 6 turnovers. You got Jalen Johnson that guards you. He's 6'8". Right? You have Dyson Daniels, I believe is 6'6", 6'7". Neil Alexander-Walker is 6'5". Right? CJ is about 6'4". These are all bigger guards that's going to trap. Right? We're going to blitz. They're going to do all that on JB. So this is the time period for you to learn. Move that rock. Right? Move that rock. We saw the video from his pops. Getting at him. Yelling at. Move the ball. Right? You don't have to be hero ball all the time. You could be a deterrent. In this game, I think he did. He did. He came through. He came through on that aspect. Even though hockey assist, he gave the ball up, he moved it early, was able to knock it down. All right. Let's move on to Jose Alvarado. Alvarado, I think those 13 minutes was great 13 minutes. Right? Some up and down plays. My thing with Alvarado is he gets into the paint, right? He's so small, looks like he's going to turn the ball over, jump in the air, threads the needle, gets it through. Definitely gets it through. But I would like that point guard that get our guys in position, like feed them to the spot, lead them to the spot where they need to be. All right, I think he holds on to the ball too much. He goes under the rim, comebacks out, look it, doesn't pass it quick enough to get it to Cat. He waits it. Then it's like 4 or 5 seconds left. Cat got to heave it. But it's a whole nother story. But productive minutes on the defensive end, being a pest. You saw him come in, getting aggressive, getting in the guys' faces. That changed the tempo a bit. Is that something that Atlanta could maintain and deal with, that pressure? We're seeing it tonight. They kind of folded. And I want to, as much as I want to give the Knicks credit on the defensive end, which they did play better defense, Atlanta just missed shots too. Be honest with you. Atlanta just missed shots. Deuce McBride with his 22 minutes off the bench was very crucial, because we saw in game 3, Deuce had 5 for 10 from 3-point line. He goes 3 for 6 again, 50% from 3. Right, 4 for 7 from the field. This is what we need. Bench production was a plus 13 during that time period. Also had an assist. Deuce is not a primary assist guy, but he still got that assist in. Right, and his 1-2 game with a certain player we're gonna talk about later on, but he definitely meshed. Jordan Clarkson, another person that got Mikal's minutes and was productive. Right, only 2 for 4, still 50%. Sometimes it's still better than what Mikal does. Right, still better than what Mikal does. Didn't knock down his 3-pointers, and there's been one thing with Jordan Clarkson is his 3-point shooting lately. He's phenomenal when he attacks the paint. He's phenomenal on the offensive rebounding, but his 3-point shots has been missing like crazy this year. It's been missing, but he's still productive, getting it to the paint, being aggressive, and we pressed, right? We press. One of the key things that I've stated, why are we not pressing? Why the Knicks do not press? And we saw in this game, they were pressing. It was being aggressive, whether it was Alvarado, Clarkson. We even saw Brunson do it every now and then. But keep the same game plan. You see that when you press, you disrupt them. You get the ball out of CJ McCollum's hand. Why? Because he's working to get the ball up. By the time you get in your set, he's going to be tired. It's going to take a minute for them to get within their rhythm, within their play. Now he has to dig deep into his bag to score. All of that is exhausting. You see teams do that with JB, which is why some games he be inefficient. Why not do the same against CJ McCollum, which they did this game? Right? We all have the checkbook on what to do. They need to continue with that. But shout out to Alvarado, Clarkson on being aggressive and pressing. Press every play. This is the playoffs, right? Each possession matters. But then Mitch last game had 11 minutes, right? You heard Coach Brown talk about and say that the double big lineup is not as effective, so there wasn't that much minutes for Mitch. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Mitch is built for the playoffs, right? Mitch will come in a short stint of time period and give you numbers. So I don't want to, Mike Brown, I'm starting to put you on another side of the coaching aspect. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like the hire happened, I was all for it. Right? Regular seasons, you made adjustments, was loving it. Come to the playoffs, you start playing lineups that we haven't seen. You never ran. Right? Mitch is getting less minutes because you said that it's ineffective. I wouldn't say that. He might be, minus 18 or minus certain things, but it's who you have out there with Mitch. Right? I would never have Mitch, Cat, and Josh Hart in the game. Mix it up, coach. Mix it up. And you saw that tonight with Mitch coming in. Mitch had, 15 minutes, 2 for 3 from the field, right? 5 offensive rebounds. That's key. Him and Cat been wilding. But the 5 offensive rebounds, 8 total, also had an assist. But it's just another big body. Atlanta's a bigger team. We know Atlanta's a bigger team. Right? So you need some size, defensive size out there. Someone that can be an anchor at the rim. And I like what we did defensively, too, when Mitch came in. Certain times we blitzed off the pick and roll. Sometimes we were in drop coverage depending on who was there. So switching it up was very pivotal. That's why I said this was a well coached game from top to bottom. And when Coach Brown is doing this, sky's the limit for my Knicks. Sky is the limit. It is. Right? Tyler Kolek, we talk about the bench. The bench came in when it was pretty much only 3 minutes or so left. But you saw Kolek instant come in. You saw Landry Shamet, first play, coming off a floppy, guns it, knocks it down. Right? First play off a floppy. I'll switch it to this one. Right? First play off a floppy, comes in, knocks it down. So I was shocked that Shamet was really getting no minutes prior before that. It's crazy. But I guess that's what he did to give Deuce more minutes, get Clarkson more minutes, which, remember, Clarkson was smack dab on the bench, guys. Clarkson was on that bench. So shout out to him to really get to this point. Hold on, let me move. Take the chat out. Right? Shout out to Clarkson getting back into the rotation. But taking a look at Dyson Daniels, he go 3 for 7 from the field. We completely took out, exploited Dyson Daniels. Right? He has a lot to work on his game in the offseason, and that's to at least be able to create in that offense. He goes 3 for 7. A lot of it is attacking the paint, which is cool. Didn't knock down any of the 3-pointers, but 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Still a brute, right? Still a brute on a defensive end. Once he develop a jump shot, the sky's the limit for him. But ultimately, he has to do that. But the Knicks completely, when we trap more, we trap on Dyson Daniels guy, right? So whoever had Dyson Daniels, trapping. We trap with Brunson whenever they do the guard pick and roll. That was great. That was great. Right? Jalen Johnson completely out the game. 4 for 12. 4 for 12. 1 for 5 from 3-pointer. And what we did, we sagged off of him. Right? When we sagged off of Jalen Johnson, that turns him into a shooter. And we know he's not a shooter. Now, mind you, he can knock down rhythm shots when he has it going. But we saw from the jump, they was feeling themselves. They must have had too much Magic City wings before the game. Because these guys, they didn't have it tonight. Jalen Johnson definitely didn't. But we turned him to a shooter. He still got to the free throw line 5 for 5. 5 assists, 3 rebounds. And that's a key. Was not turning Jalen Johnson into a playmaker. Because that's when they the best. When Jalen Johnson is playmaking, when Dyson Daniels are playmaking, that's when they play better. When Atlanta trails, they're scrambling. They're not playing their style of basketball. And the Knicks took that away. I don't think it was our aggression. I truly don't. I just think we outcoached their coach. That's what ultimately happened in this game. I don't think we did anything ridiculous. This is what we did in game 1. This is what should have happened in game 2 and 3, which is why I was so frustrated. I was so out of it. I was out of it. Because it's like, how we lose back-to-back games by 1 point. Right? You got Orlando going down to Detroit, putting in work. So I'm like, my Knicks gotta come through. We gotta prevail. You about to have Minnesota go up 3-1 on Denver. Right? So for my Knicks to come out and play the way we playing, it's like you gotta take care of business early. Why? Because you got the Boston Celtics in the next round. This playoffs is leading to be one of the craziest. Why? You have people getting injured. You have teams winning that you don't expect to win. So the pendulum can easily switch. We thought Detroit was the big bad wolf, the number one, ranked in the defense. I think number 2, because I think OKC was. But Detroit might go down. You have the Lakers beating who they playing? Lakers is playing the Rockets, right? It's an open field. They 3-0. You take care of business early. So that's why I was a little frustrated with what was going on. But I think we did a phenomenal job. Neil Alexander Walker was another player, 5 for 11. He was 45% from the field. Onyeka Okongwu going 4 for 7. Right, they were spreading the wealth, but they wasn't. They wasn't. No one really took over. Even CJ going 8 for 15. That's still 53%, but the 3-point shots was not falling like they was in the last game for them. All right, for the Knicks to contain them, 10 for 41, 24%, 41% from the field. My Knicks couldn't do any better. They couldn't do any better defensively. Right, Kuminga comes in. He's still forcing his shots when it's not going down. Right, that is the key for the Knicks. Bring that aggression, force them to put the ball in players' hands that we don't want to, right? Get it out of CJ's hand. And we were aggressive on CJ. He had to give it up. What they do, they made Neil Alexander Walker a playmaker. They made Jonathan Kuminga a playmaker. But these are scorers. They score first guard. So you put a ball in the person to score first, he's going to want to do a score. He's not going to worry about facilitating, giving guys their looks. It's not going to be the case. I don't even know why they're not playing Buddy Hield, but that's neither here nor there. I thought Buddy Hield could, bring some good shooting, but they went with Corey. Corey been a Knicks killer. He went 1 for 7 for this game. So it's a well coached game, to be honest with you. Well coached game, but I wanna talk about the big bodega, right? Big bodega. I had to bring up the big screen for this one because this coach need to hear this. All the Knicks fans need to hear this because it's very crucial, very pivotal, right? The offense need to run through Jalen Brunson. The offense, let's restart. The offense need to run to Cat every time. From the top of the key, from the post, from the nail, from the wing. When Cat is on and he's involved, the Knicks are at their best. I was a firm believer of saying that if Jalen Brunson would get us as far as the Knicks need to, no. As a team, top of the food chain should be Cat. Should be Cat. This man put up 20 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. Cat was balling. There was a stretch where Brunson got hurt. Cat said, it's fine. I'm going to knock a 3 down. I'm going to get 2 assists to OG on a perfect back cut play that we spammed that play. Atlanta just couldn't stop it. And I understand why, because they didn't want to switch the OG and Brunson. So Neil Alexander stayed. OG had a clear cut to get to the paint. Dunked it every time. 22 buckets from OG. All right. But Cat is that man. I'm going to be honest with you. When he's involved. 3 offensive rebound, 7 defensive rebound, 10 assists. Right? 6 for 10 from the field. So it's not like he was jacking up shots. Got to the free throw line from him being aggressive. 7 from 9. Those 2 free throws, Cat. After all that. Well, I apologize. But but seriously, Cat played a phenomenal game. And from now on, we need to run the offense through Cat. Right? Jalen Brunson, 18 field goal attempts. I'm totally fine with that. But everybody was eating. Everybody was eating, right? The fourth quarter, it wasn't stagnant basketball. It wasn't just give the ball up somebody's hand and we ran sets. We ran plays, right? Cat at the nail. Everybody spacing and moving. OG cutting. We had some back cuts with getting Deuce open in the corner. Deuce being effective, knocking down 3-pointers, 3 from 6 from the field. Even Alvarado at a point in time with those cap minutes were knocking down threes, getting into the paint. Look at that. Jordan Clarkson, V cut, getting into the paint. All of that was off of Cat and movement, right? Ball not stagnant. Ball wasn't stagnant. Played a hell of a game. We played a hell of a game. And it has to continue. Has to continue. We got a game at the Garden. I'm thinking about getting tickets, but I'm like, I'm chill. I'm chill. I've been building up my portfolio and stuff like that. Put my money in good spaces. But man, what a crucial game. This was a definitely pivotal game because I couldn't have seen us go back to the Garden down 3-1. It's crazy. It's crazy. But overall, great game. Guys came out to play, very aggressive. You know, we saw Coach Rick. Rick was telling. Let me see if I could pull that up. Let me see if I could pull it up real quick. So look, he telling him, look, pass that rock, bro. Move the ball. Move the ball.
So this is back-to-back nights. We have father-son.
See, he passed the ball. Pass the ball. Pass the ball. Look at Coach face. He got a point. He comes in the fourth quarter, right? Cat got it going. Deuce got it going. We brought back Brunson. Brunson comes in, try to get the buckets in. Nah, we like, yo, it's flowing. And if Brunson sees it, that means the entire team sees it. That means Coach sees it. And we all knew it. We all know that Brunson has this complex about him where it's like, this is my team. I'm the king of New York. You know, he might seem humble, but deep down, he's a killer. We get it, right? He wants to be all NBA. We get it. He wants to be clutch player. We understand that. But to win a championship, you gotta sacrifice. Right? We see that Cat sacrificed a lot. It's time for Brunson to sacrifice. This series, Brunson, it's not you. It's not. It can. But let this be Cat. We said going into the series that Cat should dominate. Cat should easily dominate. But then we get into the series. It's 50-50. Brunson started the game coming out scorching hot. Cool. We like that. Then, of course, started getting everybody going. But Brunson, how many assists? Cap? 3 assists tonight, Cap. It's not gonna get it done. Oh, let me see. Let's look at the chart real quick. I want to look at the percentage. And then I'll probably, y'all should tune in, man. Hit me up on the Discord. Let me pop up my Discord real quick. But I want somebody to come in and chat and come talk to your boy. The link is in the file. Hold on, let me move this over. But yeah, the link is in the file. You know, definitely join the Discord so we could kind of chat, get up in here. But yeah, looking at the stats here, right? Knicks had more steals, and you know Atlanta is infamous for steals. Top 10 in the NBA and in steals and points over turnovers. All right, so for the Knicks to do that, that's very crucial, right? 23 assists. And you know the key for the Knicks is anytime they have over 20, I want to say 26 assists, we always win the game. Always. but ball is moving. Atlanta with 20, right? Nick out rebound Atlanta. Atlanta only had 38 rebounds to the Knicks 43. Second chance opportunities, defensive rebounds. You out rebound a team, you have a better chance of winning. More possessions for you. We learned that from Tibbs. We definitely learned that from Tibbs. Right? The biggest key for tonight, 14 turnovers to Atlanta's 18. We all stated Atlanta forces the ball, right? It's been plenty of times you saw Dyson Daniels strip Jalen Brunson in the other games. You saw C.J. McCollum strip Jalen Brunson. Like, everybody was giving it to JB in the series on the defensive end. And sometimes they're playing straight up defense on him. Straight up defense. So shout out for him. Move the rock, right? I still don't like that JB bring the ball up every time. Every time. JB, move off ball. You don't have to touch it every time. Get off ball. We know we're going to bring it right back to you because we run our sets to you all the time. Get off ball, right? Preserve that energy. It's smart, but nah, he got to bring the ball up every time, right? Put the ball in Mikel's hand. As much as I don't want it in Josh Hart, but put it in Mikel's hand. Let Mikel get it, bring it up. We've seen OG bring it up occasionally, right? Switch it up. Switch it up. He don't have to bring the ball up every time. I'm sorry, Cap. You don't. You don't. But the 14 turnovers to the 18, very crucial. That's kept us in the game. We didn't turn the ball over. Then of course, 49% from the field, crucial. 45 from three. Anybody shooting 45% from three-pointer, you're going to win that game. And the fact that Atlanta only shot 24. And we know the Knicks is infamous for not defending the three-point well. But I also say that Atlanta missed shots. Can't give it all to the Knicks. Atlanta missed shots. Like I said, I don't think they forced them to do any differently with those three-point shots that they were taking. It's just who was taking those shots, right? If you got Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson shooting threes, it's not going to be the best results. Kuminga couldn't get it going on a three-point attempt. Knicks was sagging off. Why? Because he was aggressive getting it to the paint, right? We put a bigger body on him. Wasn't no Josh Hart. They mixed it up. And Cat was even more aggressive when he was guarded by Kuminga. Being aggressive, getting him in foul trouble. Now, I'll switch it up. Now, we had Scott Foster reffing the game. Now, you know he's Mr. Pause. He's going to extend the series. He's Mr. Extendo. Whenever Scott Foster playing and you down, best believe he's going to extend the series. And that, they did. Knicks got to the line a lot. It was a lot of calls going to Nick way. One particular call that didn't make sense was the out-of-bounds play that he called on OG. But it clearly wasn't his shoes. I think it was Jalen Johnson's shoes because they had on similar yellow shoes. But that, I'm like, oh, these refs trying to throw the game. But I kind of knew when Scott Foster was there, they were going to hand it over to the Knicks. Just his style of play and how he ref. You know, one thing with that, if you know a ref's name, you know it's not a good thing. And it's quite a few refs that we know in the league. We definitely know. But the free throw shooting, 78 to 80%, we'll take it. Points in the paint, Knicks with 50 points in the paint to Atlanta 44. It's crazy. Jacko, what it do? Jacko, appreciate you rocking and rolling. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Says we should have had games like this in game 2 and 3. We overcomplicated this series. Jacqueline, I definitely said that. I definitely said that. It made no sense, which is why I was ultimately frustrated in those games because I'm like, guys, we came out in game 1, we played okay, right? We played okay, but you saw that what worked, right? We pressed a little bit. We was moving the ball, right? Brunson came out hot. It was on fire, right? Mitch played. He was a little aggressive. The next two games, it's like the Knicks was out of wax, turning the ball over left and right. Jalen Brunson couldn't get it going, couldn't execute plays. Jackal, it looked like we were about to throw it away, which is why I was like, yo, what's going on with my Knicks? Like, do they want it? I was challenging Coach Brown. Like, what are you doing? What play calls are you doing? Right? How are you getting these guys going? What is going on? And then even after the game, listening to Coach Brown, I did not like what he said about Cat, where it's like, we shouldn't have to tell Cat to get it going. Cat needs to get it going. Stuff. Don't do that. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. But what a turnaround, right? We pressed for the entire second half. The bench got it going. Alvarado minutes, Clarkson minutes was official. Right? We saw a little of everything from everybody. That's the only way we could beat Atlanta. And it shows with Atlanta that the experience. When people talk about playoff experience, sometimes I'm like, is that really a thing? Is it really a thing? Oh, they don't got no experience. Because you look at the Thunder didn't have experience. They still went deep and went to the finals and won. We still talk about experience. I'm starting to see it with these guys because it is another level. And the game slow downs and it shows your every weakness. We see our weakness. You see it. Right? Jalen Brunson, there's ways once you get the ball out of his hands, who else is being a ball handler and being aggressive? Who else on the Knicks could create? That's our weakness. Besides Brunson, who else is creating? Maybe Clarkson can do that, which is why he's getting more minutes and Mikal is on the bench because Mikal's not creating. Right? Turnover prone sometimes when you take the ball out of JB's hands. Right? Jalen Brunson is his own weakness because he tries to play hero ball if we're behind. So we see all our weakness with that aspect. Mitch not being the best free throw shooter, so you could go hack a Mitch. We knew going to the series that Dyson Daniels is a liability on the offensive end. Defensive end, 100%. Right? We know that Jalen Johnson is not the best shooter. He's a rhythm shooter, but not the best. Right? All of this, you understand. And we should have done this from the beginning. Jackal, the most important thing I think we should have done from the beginning was press. I think if we would have pressed, like from top to bottom, all the other games, right? It would have been totally different. We would have forced the ball out of CJ McCollum's hands. We would have had to put it in somebody else who's not a primary ball handler. Right? Now they're exerting more energy. They're moving around doing extra stuff. We should have been included that. Right? Should have. And all those games we lost by 1 point. Right? 18-point deficit in game 3 that we came back from. We took the lead. Should have kept the lead. We had 2 opportunities to score in those possessions. It didn't happen, right? Jalen Brunson, air ball, come back, had a double team, try to pass it to Josh, another turnover. Why not put the ball in OG's hand? OG had it going. It don't always have to go to Brunson. But then that's a Mike Brown issue as well because Mike Brown relies heavily on his star players. The main star player, that's what he did with Braun in Cleveland. It's what he did with Kobe in LA. Run that system. Run that play. I would have rather an open possession shot in game 4, than what transpired. But we here. We here now. We got that W. Definitely feel good about it. Definitely feel good. I'm about to say, Jackal, come join the Discord if you here. Join the Discord. Come and chat live with your boy. Should be in the link in the body. Join the Discord. Come through. I want to chat with my with my family tonight. I want to chat. I want to get involved. But what a definitely a good victory. Through and through. I want to see if they got Mike Brown interview up. Anything. Okay, we got. I don't know what this is.
Playing like from the bat, just we're gonna go through cat. Sorry,
Let's see.
and Mike was a plan like from the bat, just we're gonna go through cat. Sorry,
Feed the cat.
I'm sorry, Steph.
we're gonna go through cat, or was it seeing what they were doing with Jalen and doubling him and
Feed
stuff
the
like
cat.
that? Like, why that adjustment? Where did that come from?
So we just switched our early offense up. And
He stutters too much stuff
with
for
us
me.
switching our early offense up the way we did, it happened to fall into his hands quite a bit. So I'll explain to you off the record one of these times, but like we didn't, our early offense is still equal opportunity.
And Mike was a plan like
So the early offense is still equal opportunity. Nah, coach, we fed that rock to cat. Right? Feed the cat.
Because you failed the Knicks fans tonight.
I
The
mean,
atmosphere.
Knicks fans travel all around the world. It's even more special. I already knew how special the Knicks fans were from last year, but to be going to Abu Dhabi in preseason and see the stadium packed with Knicks fans is crazy. So they travel around the world. They bring us so much love and
Come on, we diehards.
and energy and just passion that you could just feel that kind of passion in the building, and it helps us feel like every game we play, no matter if it's away or in Abu Dhabi around.
Yeah, no, we definitely came to play today.
I think you saw from today, from Josh's physicality, defense, whether it was CJ or Jalen he was on?
Yeah, he does what's asked of him 9.5 times out of 10.
And we definitely had that scare too from Cat.
I mean, we can joke around and say all the things I say about him, but this one thing that he's going to do, he's going to go out there and compete, and he'll do that night in and night out.
What do you think you saw from today, from Josh's?
Yeah, no, great overall game. Next game is on Tuesday, which gonna. Right? Yeah, no. Next game is on Tuesday, which is good. I'm gonna be looking forward to that. Then of course they got another game on Thursday, which I gotta go and deal with work. We got the Met Gala coming up, so I gotta participate in setting that up. But what a bounce back victory. Definitely. Let's look at the standings that's taking place right now. Orlando. It's leading Detroit right now. Would have never in a million years, but 2-1, still could be early, right? Atlanta went up on the Knicks and we was able to tie it up. So, but for the Magics, giving it to Detroit is good. Cleveland right now when the Raptors 2-1, obviously Knicks 2-2. Celtics they play tomorrow, 2-1. Hopefully Philly could bring it. Philly could bring it. If we could get Philly in the second round, that'd be awesome. Still no Joel Embiid though, so that's crucial to see. The Spurs giving it to the Trailblazers last night. I kind of watched that game even without Wemby, and this is why I said it's wide open. Wemby, concussion protocol, that series could swing, right? The Nuggets, Minnesota is leading 3-1. Minnesota's been the kryptonite to the Denver Nuggets. And then Dante going down with a torn Achilles. Dante might be out for the whole entire year next year. Would love to have Dante to come back. He's a great shooter. And he needs to pull a Jason Tatum, had that surgery tomorrow, and start working to get back. But prayers up to Dante. Hopefully a speedy recovery. But Dante torn his Achilles. He's out. So look, but the Nuggets still was able to prevail. An injury happened to Ant Edwards where he hyperextended his knee. Nuggets still did it, right? Lakers up 3-0 right now. Lakers are going to go against possibly the Thunder in that second round. That's going to be a series to where Thunder might get knocked out. All right. So my point of saying is that this is wide open for the Knicks right now. Wide open for the Knicks to be effective. Wide open. Right? Anything can happen. Anything can change during this time period. So we can't fool around with Atlanta. We can't. We can't fool around with Atlanta. Because you don't know. The longer we take, Joel Embiid might come back. If Philly get past Celtics, which we know probably not going to happen. You know, we give them enough time. Right? Talk to me, Jacko. We better not stretch this out 7 games with Atlanta. You never know. You never know, right? And we've seen Atlanta at their best. It's a tough team. It's a tough team, right? Tough team. But we know their flaws. We need to attack it. We need to attack it. I don't think, right? We all said Knicks in 5. A lot of people said Knicks in 5, but obviously Atlanta got their second win, so it could still be, Knicks in 6, which I expect. I expect a home victory, and then for us to pull it out. This is what I expect. We don't know, but it's what I expect, right? Now we're literally back to home court, right? Protect home court. If we protect home court, we're moving on. We're moving on. So, but it's a wide open series. It truly is, and I'm talking about everything else in the league, right? You wouldn't expect Philly to get a W in. You wouldn't expect Toronto, Orlando, Minnesota to be up 3-1. You wouldn't expect this, right? Or even the Blazers getting the W. So it's a lot involved. There's definitely a lot involved. But honestly, for game, it was a game 5. The best way for the Knicks to be productive in game 5 is to press. I think once we press from the jump, and I've stated that early in the video, press, right? Key to game 5 victory is pressing. Slow down their offense. You know they want to speed us up. Press. Move the rock. Feed Cat. Cat at the nail. Cat on the wing. And that's how you get Cat going. I know everyone talks about Cat not being aggressive. Feed him the rock. Feed him the rock. Put him in spots and positions where he's comfortable, not where you want him to be. And early in the offense, Cat, we doing all the screening aspect and all of that, dribble handoffs. That's all good. Put Cat at the top of the key. Let him survey, right? Either he attack, and is quick with it. Attack, he don't got it. Give it up. Because there's been times that he penetrated, dished it up. Brunson knocked down that early three-pointer. Cat knows how to be effective at that nail. Right, look at this play. Caught it, instantly went and attacked. That was a travel. Well, I'm looking at the other video. But let me rewind it real quick. Because look, Cat right there at the post. Hold on. After this play, we'll see. But Cat at the nail, it's easy buckets, right? Easy buckets. Here we go. Catch it on the wing. Quick offense. Quick. He knew I got a baby on me. I'm going to be quick with it. We not wasting time. But got to be better on those pick and roll too and them drop coverage. That's definitely true. That is it. But Knicks tied up with 2-2. 14 more wins to a potential banner rising. It's gonna be a long playoffs, man. Just in general, we've seen this before. Going against Philly 2 years ago. We've seen that. We've seen that going against Detroit last year. It's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in these series. It's going to be a lot of confusion on our end, like why are we losing to in this manner. But it's one thing I'm gonna say. Tibbs definitely had us prepared in the playoffs to where there wasn't us trying to figure out certain things, and like we knew what we were doing. And in this Mike Brown system, that seems to be the thing. Like, what are we doing? What are we going to? You know, and that's because a lot of people get to dictate the offense. A lot of people's involved. You have Deuce being aggressive sometimes. Great steal by Josh Hart. Josh was crucial on the defense. But everybody's like, when you know that everybody can operate, you're trying to figure out, well, when am I get mine? When I'm going to do this? When I'm going to do that? So the equal opportunity offense sometimes can backfire when it comes to moments of like, all right, get it to your big dogs. We need to be aggressive. Or there's been 5 plays to where I didn't touch the rock, you know, because it's been swinging to others, OG or Brunson. But I like that the ball was moving. Josh finally hit a 3, but the ball was definitely moving in crucial moments. So, because Lord knows, like on my birthday too, we need to get the dub. We need to. And I got 9 more minutes until my birthday's up, so I'm gonna probably head on out and cut some more cake. But I might. Let me see. Monday. Do I? No, Tuesday is the game. I might do a live play-by-play on Tuesday because we're gonna be at the Garden. So I'm thinking about that, doing a live play-by-play, or just do a post-game chat. I gotta see, but I might do a live play-by-play. We'll see. But Knicks fans, appreciate y'all. 2-2, 14 more wins, 2 more wins to get Atlanta up out of here. Then we move on to the semis to potentially face the Boston Celtics of a rematch of last year's semis. That's going to be a battle, but I don't want to jump the gun. Let's stay here in this series. Let's take them out, but it's a good preparation to get us ready to deal with Jaylen Brown and Tatum. You know, more forwards, more guards, and now our defense got to be sharp dealing with them because these guys can pull up buckets in a heartbeat. So defensively, we need to bring it each night. No subpar defense like we did in game 2 and 3. Bring it from the jump, press. All I know I'm repeating myself, but it's a must. Like, they don't understand that this is the key to win. Like, put that on your wall. Key to win. Do these things. You're guaranteed to win. And then the Knicks get out there and just all the game plan is out the window. All the game plan is out the window. But we definitely played better. Bench did better. We went deeper actually into the bench. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did we? No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we played 9. We played 9 guys. It's typical the same 9. But like you said, more minutes were distributed between the bench. Clarkson with 20. Deuce with 22. Alvarado with 13. Heavy guards, right? And that's what the Knicks need too. We need a forward that can create and dribble. If Clarkson was 6'7", being able to create like that, he would definitely get more minutes. He could back up OG or take more of Mikal minutes. But for Mikal to have 19 minutes, shout out to the coach for pulling that, because I never would have saw that. I thought he would have pulled the Tibbs and kept Mikal with like 30 minutes. But those Deuce minutes was crucial. Those Clarkson minutes was crucial, right? Plus 12 for Clarkson, plus 13. But Mikal plus minus is a 0. So it's a great addition. And Mikal came in and did what he needed to do. Just so happens, Mikal, this is not your series. But best believe you better make it up if we play Boston. All right, that Boston series last year that we saw Mikal was aggressive. Knocking down shots. Felt good. Similar to what he was aggressive in this game earlier. You saw him coming in, knocking down mid-range, get into the paint, layup. Those were those 3 buckets that he had. Right? Did he try to attempt a 3-pointer? Nah, he didn't try to attempt a 3. We'll take that. Right? Just being smart. It's being smart. But on to the next one, guys. I appreciate you rocking and rolling with me with this episode. It's like truly, truly grateful to have my delusionals rocker with me. With that said, we're gonna chop it up on to the next one. Until next time, deuces.